Israel says at least 65 people were injured in the latest round of Iranian strikes across the country. Among the buildings hit on the seventh day of the conflict was a hospital in the southern city of Beersheba. Israel says it's targeted Iran's Natanz nuclear site and has also hit an inactive reactor. Iran state media has released this video said to be of missiles being launched towards Israel. Well, the news agency says the pictures were shot yesterday. Among those injured in Israel include a man in his 80s and two women in their 70s who are said to be in serious conditions. Several missiles managed to penetrate Israel's defense system. This is Ramat Gun in the Tel Aviv area. A missile also landed between buildings in Holon. Well, the emergency services say more than 30 people were injured in the attack on the Soroka Hospital in Beersheba. In a tweet, Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said terrorist tyrants had launched missiles at the hospital and at a civilian population. He said Israel would exact the full price from Iran for the attack. Well, Iran says it was targeting a military site next to the hospital, not the hospital itself. Well, let's hear from a paramedic who was at the scene.
As you can see behind me, I am on a scene where a missile struck right in the center of a building complex. We have 5 buildings that were hit by the missile. We have one which is the main building and all the other ones surrounding it, which were partially hit as well. We are currently evacuating minimal amount of patients. We have 1 serious patient with 2 more with minor injuries. We still have a lot of work behind me, as you can see, extracting patients from all the buildings, going door from door. Our teams are together with the fire department and front command, trying to get people out of their houses. You can see the house behind me is still on fire.
Well, the Israel Defense Forces say they struck more than 20 military targets in Tehran yesterday. Iranian media says Israel struck an area near the heavy water research reactor in Kondab, which is part of Iran's nuclear program. The complex is commonly known as Arak. Well, it's understood around 60 Israeli warplanes targeted Iran last night. Meanwhile, President Trump is understood to have approved a plan of attack against Iran, but is yet to decide whether he wants to go ahead with it. The BBC's partner in America, CBS News, says Mr. Trump is still waiting to see whether Iran will abandon its nuclear program. Iran's supreme leader has rejected President Trump's demand for unconditional surrender. And the Iranian foreign minister said his country was committed to diplomacy, and his officials say they're considering possible meetings with US negotiators. Well, Mr. Trump is reported to have approved plans for the US to join Israel's attacks on Iran, as we were saying, but it's still to make a final decision on whether those strikes should go ahead. With more on that, here's our North